So earlier today, I was watching this YouTube video. It was Bill Gates on a game show, and the whole premise was him having to guess how much certain basic household items cost. Like, for instance, it was a 99-cent box of rice that he guessed cost over $5. And Tostino's pizza rolls, like the little pizza rolls that you pop in the microwave, just a little bag of those probably costs under $5. He said it costs like over $20. And granted, a guy like Bill Gates probably doesn't do a whole ton of his own grocery shopping, but it was funny because a guy like that is so wealthy really has no idea the cost of basic household things. And so today we're wrapping up our series called A New Thing, looking at the cost of following Jesus. Last week we talked about the yoke that comes in following Jesus, where a relationship with God is all about centered in love, that God desires for us to carry no shame, to carry no guilt, but instead to carry the yoke that is easy. And so this week we're talking about the cost that a relationship with God really has, and ultimately the cost that we as followers of Jesus have to choose. And so there's this verse in Matthew chapter 16. Take a look. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way, take up your cross, and follow me." And so we see that following Jesus comes at a cost, that through God extending his love for us and Jesus dying is something that we cannot earn on our own. It's a free gift, and yet a commitment to following Jesus comes at a cost. Like, I can think about a couple ways that in a true commitment to following Jesus and this new way of living, that our lives should be different. One, there's a cost in the ways that we spend our time. There's a cost in the ways that we spend money. And there's a cost in the ways that we spend our talents or our gifts that God has given us. And so take a look at this interview. We're talking about Echo Glen. It's a student rehabilitation center right here in Issaquah that is doing something seemingly so insignificant and yet so important to extend the love of Jesus, and quite frankly costs you and I something. So take a look. So I'm here with Maya, and Maya's going to be sharing something that she's been doing actually this week, and it really pertains to exactly what we're talking about in this cost of following Jesus. And so Maya, thanks for being here. Will you share just your grade, what school you're at, and I don't know, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Maya. I'm a sophomore at Skyline High School, and during my free time, I like to ski with my family, take dance classes, and cook. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, what's the best thing that you've cooked during this COVID season?
I think I made a Dijon maple chicken, which was really, really good.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Do you do like takeout at your house or what?
I'm thinking about it. It's
It's
pretty
awesome.
good.
It's so awesome. Yum. Okay, so now I'm thinking about chicken, but we're talking about this idea of love letters from God, specifically for Echo Glen. So how did you first hear about love letters from God and this opportunity to write letters for students at Echo Glen?
Yeah, so actually, my mom is a part of Moms in Prayer, and their chapter is writing cards for over 100 kids at Echo Glen. And I thought it was really cool, and I heard through my mom. And this past week, we've been working on them together as a family.
That's awesome. So, um, like in general, what made you want to get involved? Like, why was this something that you wanted to get involved with?
I thought it was an awesome opportunity to reach out to the community of kids in this area who've had maybe troubling years in the past. And I think it was also a great opportunity to introduce them to God or reintroduce them. So, yeah.
Mm, it's so awesome. It's really cool. I think
experiences like this or opportunities like this um, might just feel like, oh, this is just like another service project for service hours for school or whatever. But how does something like this, something really tangible that you can do, how does that relate, or what does that have to do with your relationship with God?
Yeah, so this process was actually a little difficult for me because I really wanted to do it. And when I first opened up the blank card, all I had was Dear blank. I didn't even know the kid's name, and then Happy Valentine's Day. So then there was just this wall that I created thinking about I don't even know the person that I'm writing this card to. I don't know what they've gone through, the hardships they've faced, and will they even like what I say? And then I realized that God was just testing me because for a second I just wanted to. I'd sat there for 30 minutes with nothing written, and I then thought, God's really challenging me right now, but I'm going to write these letters, and the one thing I knew was that God loves all of us and he loves them too. So I just started writing from that, and I searched through the Bible, and I even found my own new favorite Bible verse, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 17. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. So I really thought it was cool that God tested me and he really forced me to have fortitude to continue this writing journey and also introduce the word to kids who may not know about God and how much they love them. So I thought that was really cool.
That's amazing. Just something so seemingly small or insignificant like a card. One was like such a challenge for you and like this really cool process for you, but ultimately what a gift to those students. Awesome. Okay, Maya, thank you for sharing about your experience with this, and ultimately just thanks for being part of blessing these students at Echo Glen. And I know that that this opportunity is something that really means a lot to those kids, and for us as a community to be able to come alongside them. So awesome. Thanks so much for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
So, just one question for you. How is your relationship with God costing you anything? Maybe a little more specifically, how does your commitment to follow Jesus really change the way you live? I had a friend who used to say all the time, I just want to be inconvenienced for the sake of the gospel. For me, that was him saying, I know that there's a cost of me being uncomfortable or me having to be inconvenienced or me having to give not just 10% of my life, but all of my life in order to follow Jesus. And students, I think that that's the new way that God is calling us to live our lives as we continue to be transformed by the love of Jesus, that our commitment to following Jesus would cost us something. And so this week, I want to invite you to continue to ask this question in your relationships at home and the ways that you interact with your family and the relationships with your friends, whatever it is. How is my relationship with Jesus costing me anything? And continue to ask that question and even ask it in prayer. God, would you reveal ways that I can experience cost in following you? If you're looking for one of those ways, there's more details about how you can be involved to send love letters to students at Echo Glen. That'll be right here in the description of the video. But as we go into this week, would you go knowing that following Jesus comes at a cost, but there truly is no better cost in life?